In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came, that voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the inside my mind. Inside your mind. No more talk of darkness. Forget these wide-eyed fears. I'm here, nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day, away from the
smoking in the event center. For your safety, please note that fire exits are clearly marked by exit signs. Kindly take a moment to identify the location of the fire exit nearest you, keeping in mind that it may be behind you. In the event of an emergency, an alarm will sound and you should calmly and safely exit the building at that time. Thank you.
I'm Grand Marshal Jonathan Krasno, and I'd like to call to order the commencement of Harper College of Arts and Sciences of the State University of New York at Binghamton. Everyone, please rise as you are able. We welcome you to join vocalist Raya Bolander in singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, through so gallantly streaming, and the rockets from bombs bursting in air, through the night, yet a flag was still there. Oh, sailors, let stars make up for the land of the
Everyone, please be seated.
Good afternoon. I am Dean Celia Klin, and this is a special ceremony as we bring together our master's and baccalaureate candidates, as well as their families and friends. Congratulations to you all. Before we proceed with our ceremony, I would like to welcome members of the Binghamton University Council who are joining us today. Please hold your applause until both have been introduced. Catherine Grant Madigan, Chair, and Linda Beamer. I would also like to introduce our other special guests who sit with us on the stage this afternoon. They will stand as they call their names, and again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. President Harvey Stenger, Donald Hall, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Greg Del Vicio, Vice President of Communications and Marketing, Elisheva Azor, Student Association President, Andrea Falcone, Dean, University Libraries, Karen Jones, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Jonathan Krasno, Grand Marshal, Professor, Political Science, and Chair, Faculty Senate Executive Committee, Andre Mathis, Professional States Staff Senate, Pamela Mission, Platform Party Marshal, Professor, Environmental Studies, Chief Sustainability Officer, Bessie Muhanja, Alumni Award recipient, Joanne Navarro, Vice President for Operations, Anya Nikulina, Research Assistant Professor, Charles Scheidt, Faculty Fellow, German and Russian Studies and Theater, Brian Rose, Vice President for Student Affairs, Awa Traore, Student Speaker, Kara Tridell, Alumni Association President. Please join me in applauding these special guests. Will all faculty on the stage and in the audience please rise as you are able? I would like to recognize all of the esteemed faculty members who have mentored and guided our graduates. Your efforts have been crucial to the intellectual growth and achievements we celebrate today. We would also like to acknowledge the efforts of our staff, many of whom are here today volunteering at this ceremony. Please join me as we applaud their support of and dedication to the success of our students. And finally, I would like to thank the Binghamton University Wind Symphony, our vocalist, and the Broome County Celtic Pipes and Drums for their participation in today's celebration. Again, welcome to our celebration of the Harper College of Arts and Sciences class of 2024. It is now my pleasure to introduce President Harvey Stenger.
Thank you, Celia. Good afternoon, and welcome to a celebration of the graduates of the Harper College of Arts and Sciences. Congratulations to the class of 2024. We are proud of the achievements of the students whose work we recognize today. I want to thank the faculty and staff who've educated, mentored, supported, and guided our graduates. Your efforts were crucial to the intellectual and personal growth of these students and paved the way for their successes. I also want to welcome the parents, grandparents, family, and friends who join us today to share in the joy of watching a loved one reach an important life milestone. Your endless support allowed your graduate to reach their goals and persevere through these years of challenging study. Thank you for being there with them. While this feels like the end of a journey for the graduates, we call it commencement because it is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. And the degree that you receive today is a symbol to the world. It symbolizes that you have achieved the level of expertise and experience that will allow you to advance in your chosen discipline. During your time here, you've delved into theory and practice and started to truly discover your passion. That process required a great deal of hard work, of investing and engaging in your subject matter. I think you've also spent your time in other important ways, joining a club, playing a sport, meeting new people, and making lifelong friends. These activities have given you other intellectual outlets that help you see the world in a new light. Wherever you go from here, whether you are jumping straight into a career or pursuing another degree, know that you are ready for your next step. Know, too, that the nation and the world needs your talents, and you are ready. I know you are, because I've seen what you've been capable of as students. You're ready to make the world better, one decision at a time, so let me be the first to welcome you into this new chapter of your life. I look forward to learning of your many successes, and I hope that you will remain steadfast members of the Binghamton University community. Congratulations. This time I'd like to introduce Provost Donald Hall.
Thank you, Harvey, and congratulations, everyone. It's my pleasure to be among those celebrating with you today as the Chief Academic Officer of Binghamton University. So let me take this opportunity to congratulate all of our graduates and their families and friends who've supported them throughout their time here on the many achievements that we're recognizing today. You are truly remarkable students who have brought your intellectual curiosity, your work ethic, and your sense of humor to bear throughout your time here. As you graduate from Binghamton, you will take with you what you've learned in your classes through your internships and practica, from the student organizations you participated in, and from the thousands of personal interactions you've had with those around you. You will take all that you have experienced here, and I know you will become change makers in the world. We are living in a very different environment since the pandemic upended our lives. But your Binghamton education and experiences will serve you well, whether you expect to continue your studies or head straight into the workforce. According to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, 83% of employers anticipate increasing or maintaining their rate of hiring for the class of 2024 compared to a year ago. That same organization reports 90% of employers are looking for evidence that applicants can solve problems, and 80% are seeking those who have strong teamwork skills. That's also great news for you because you are leaving us with a strong foundation that's helped hone your critical thinking, decision-making, and communication skills, and that will serve you well in whatever career path you follow. As you tackle whatever is ahead of you next, questions will come up to you, for instance, what do I want my work life to look like? How will I maintain a work-life balance? Well, what I want to say to you is what has always guided me, and that is to follow your passions, that which nourishes you most. Make the decisions the best ones possible, given the choices before you, but as you make your way forward, remember to define your value to prospective employers. Show them that you know how to solve problems, that you know how to work in teams, that you learned to be a leader at Binghamton, and that you are a great communicator. These are the skills that come with your foundation in the liberal arts, and I can't say enough about them. These are the skills that will serve you well in whatever endeavors you undertake. So thank you for choosing Binghamton. It has been a great pleasure having you as our students. Congratulations on your many accomplishments in the past, but please, please stay in touch with us and keep us informed of what I know will be a stellar future ahead of you. Thank you and congratulations.
I am delighted to have the honor of introducing the recipient of the 2024 Harper College Distinguished Alumna Award, Dr. Bessie Muhanja, who is richly deserving of this recognition. Bessie Muhanja earned 2 graduate degrees from Binghamton, a master's degree in theater, and a PhD in philosophy, interpretation, and culture. She has gone on to embody the best of Harper College as an educator, a mentor, an academic leader, and a scholar whose work crosses disciplines and genres, and who gives voice to issues and identities that have previously been ignored. Her teaching and publications are in areas including critical African studies, critical race studies, feminist theory, queer African studies, and motherhood studies. Dr. Bessie Muhanja is a professor at James Madison University in the Department of English, as a professor of African, African American, and diaspora studies, as well as a professor of women's gender and sexuality studies. She serves in a leadership position as an associate vice president at James Madison for research, economic development, and innovation. Dr. Muhanja's dissertation was the first step in what has become a distinguished academic career. The subject of her dissertation was the Aba Women's Uprising in Nigeria in 1929 and included, remarkably, both a scholarly study of the uprising in disciplines including history, feminism, and African studies, and an original play, one that Dr. Muhanja wrote to provide, and I quote, a picture of historically situated African women as active members of their communities. The misrepresentation of African women globally as consummately weak and oppressed beings necessitates new approaches to addressing their story. In the years since then, Dr. Muhanja has published prolifically with a long list of books and articles to her name. She continues to make important contributions across disciplines, to her university, and to higher education. We are pleased to be able to recognize Dr. Bessie Muhanja with the Harper College Distinguished Alumni Award. We are delighted to be a part of her story. For your distinguished service to Harper College and Binghamton University, and for your exceptional contributions to scholarship, teaching, and academic leadership, it is an honor to present you with the 2024 Harper College Distinguished Award.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for that generous introduction and for this wonderful honor. I stand humbled and quite honestly a little bit emotional, a lot. It feels wonderful to be back. This was my first home in this country. Gratitude to the President and the rest of the Platform Party, those who are here to celebrate, faculty, staff, friends and family who helped you get here, and my sister, Dr. Taimi Castle, who's in the audience. Let me start off by saying I bring greetings to you from my communities. Please receive these greetings. Among my people, I'm from Kenya, Maragoli of Kenya. When you arrive somewhere, your host receives you with the words, Pole kwa safari, meaning I recognize the effort it has taken you to make the trip to this place. As you make it to this end of this part of your journey, allow us to say, Poleni kwa safari. We recognize what it has taken you to make it here. After one receives that greeting, they say in return, Mesalimiwa, meaning, where I came from, the people sent their greetings to you, or simply, I bring greetings with me to you from where I come. This greeting you deliver, whether it was given to you or not, at least you do if your people raised you, right? It is something you have to do. It is an assumption that you represent your people and that they have given you something to put out into the world. Sometimes, most times, you bring a gift and you would say, this is what my people sent me with. And when you leave, your host will send you back on to the next stop or back to where you came from with greetings of their own. Salimiana, they would say. If you're not sent back with such greetings, it means you were a bad guest, you represented your people really badly, or that the hosts were lacking in etiquette. From this collective at Binghamton, I know they taught you well because I have been where you are right now. You bring that which this journey, all these people, family, professors, friends have given you to your future worlds. You bring values, relationships, skills, knowledge, career excellence, goodwill, good citizenship, and so on. It is time for us to say, greet them, greet the world for us. So how do you represent yourself and us well? How will you walk in your future worlds? I could say, as most commencement speeches do, find what you enjoy doing, or find a meaningful path in your careers and so life. Instead, I'll say this to you. You'll probably find both if you center Ubuntu, Utu, humanity, yours and that of others in your journey. Allow me to borrow the words of the late Professor Michere Mugo. She captures the essence of Ubuntu, of this foundational philosophy to many indigenous African world senses, known to many as Ubuntu, and commonly captured in the statement, I am because we are. She states, I offer no apology in embracing the notion that my mind has a heart. This is because I am persuaded that the challenge for the 21st century is not to flaunt knowledge, but rather to humanize it by using it to name injustices, seek agency, and then map out alternatives for collective advancement of all global societies, especially the powerless. In doing this, we shall have created new possibilities for all humankind. As we speak of this century being the age of information explosion and unprecedented technological advancement, therefore, let us also vow to turn the era into a new historical chapter that will propel individuals and collective groups to heights of their human potential, end quote. So, we ask you, greet the world for us with Ubuntu. Leave everyone and every place you encounter better than you found it. Center humanity. Having grown up in Kenya, living by this philosophy, at Binghamton, I honed my skills as a scholar of Ubuntu and then a practitioner. I carried many greetings from this place, living with what Arthur C. Brooke distinguishes as resume virtues versus eulogy virtues. The introduction the Dean graciously gave of me has given you a sense of the resume virtues I took from Binghamton and that I continue to build on. What it didn't share are the eulogy virtues I took from this place. that made the resume virtues easier to advance for me. Those lessons, those greetings, which I still pass on to my students, colleagues, and communities, come from so many people, many of them still here, many in attendance today. But I cannot, because of time, I do not have the time to recognize all of them. Still, I would like to pass forward a few of them now. I recognize my academic parent and PhD advisor, distinguished Professor Nkiru Nzegu, my mentor, my other mother, who drove 7 hours to be at the closing of my first house. From her, I learned to break down margins, be limitless, decolonize spaces, disrupt spaces academically and socially that need disrupting. I learned innovation and non-traditional approaches to scholarship, work, to life. And so it came to me that this vertically challenged woman standing in front of you, who studied theater, then philosophy, interpretation, and culture, ended up in a role that is typically filled by people from the STEM fields in senior higher ed leadership. I would like now to pass on these greetings from her to you. May you care enough about humanity to innovate and disrupt boundaries that need to be. May you never let others define you. May you not wait for opportunities, but instead find the courage to create opportunities and fearlessness to change the world. And may you stay firm warriors for justice and Ubuntu-directed change makers. I thank my Mwalimu Nzegu. Along with all the amazing faculty of the Department of Theater, I would like to recognize my graduate studies director during my master's, who also served on my PhD dissertation, Professor, and now my friend, Don Boros, who sits up there in one of the boxes, who shocked me a couple of years ago when he bequeathed me a huge inheritance in art. True story. All who know him can agree that he embodies compassionate fearlessness and boldness. This awesome human saw me and invested in me. In my final semester of my master's degree, he asked for a meeting with me to tell me one thing. Well, actually, it was two things. First, he said my mother got my name right. My mother did name me brilliant, the actual adjective. But that's a story for another day. He also told me that it would be a waste of great potential if I did not pursue a PhD. And then he and Professor Nzegu helped me put my application together. Well, I hope I represented you well, my friend, my prof. So from him, I pass you these greetings. Wherever life leads you, see people, really see people. May you find or create beauty wherever you go. May you enjoy an abundance of drive, willpower, and zest for life. May you know big dreams, passion unlimited, and insane courage when you need it. Thank you, Mwalimu Boros. And then there was my master's thesis advisor, Professor Tom Kramer, and his partner, Carol Hanscom, who met this human from a totally different culture, accepted me immediately, helped me feel like I belonged. I arrived here knowing nobody, and they took me in unquestioningly as one of the family. He introduced me to the Cider Mill Playhouse, where I was able to work legally as an international student, so I was able to keep up with my responsibilities to my family back home. I arrived here a professional from Kenya, but without credit history in America. These two humans, not knowing how long I would be here, helped me plant financial roots in this country by signing as guarantors on my first credit card and several other opportunities. Professor Kramer allowed me to co-teach my first university course with him and co-direct my first main stage production in this country. This giving, this kindness, this acceptance of others is a greeting I hope that you will take with you too. May you always find and spread love and inclusivity wherever you go. May you be a builder of communities, connections, and networks. May you be a rock for someone to lean on, and may you always find one to lean on yourself when you need it. If you have received the same nurturing I did here, then you're ready to take on the world and to give to the world. People in Binghamton held space for me, academically, socially, professionally, emotionally. In doing so, they gave me what I have used to build a successful life and pour into others. 16 years ago, some of you still remember my mother caused quite a scene and stopped traffic outside this very building the day I got my PhD. She was dancing up a storm, singing, ululating, adorning me in flowers and beads, and so everybody stopped to watch. It is from her that I have stolen my message for today. She said, well, actually, she sang to me then, "My daughter, you have greeted the world well for me. You have given me pride. You have brought me to America. From my mama, I offer you this. May you find resilience, but remain gentle with yourself. May you never let your dreams be dimmed by your circumstances. May you learn to celebrate life, yourself, and those you love, wherever you are, even if you look a little extra, as the cool folks would say." So, class of 2024, while I may not dance like my mother did, I join your families, friends, and professors to offer you celebration. They may not have my mother's extraness, but they feel what she felt. So join me in acknowledging them in this moment. And as you acknowledge them with a clap, I invite you to consider what greetings those who love you are sending you into the world with. Thank you. We celebrate you, and I think I will try and do one thing my mama did. So, may the world meet you and greet you as an embodiment of Ubuntu. If that happens, the resume virtues will come easily to you. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mahanja, for your inspired remarks. I would now like to introduce our Alumni Association President, Kara Tridell. Kara would like to share congratulations on behalf of our Alumni Association.
Congratulations to you, Binghamton's class of 2024. It is truly an honor to be sharing this occasion with you as the president of your Alumni Association. It's hard to believe that just 8 years ago, I was sitting where you are, feeling the same emotions as you. I was excited to begin my next phase, but sad to be leaving friends and a place that became second home to me. It was also overwhelming to think about the many adjustments I'd have to make in moving from campus life to being out in the world, including moving back in with my mom and dad. Our alumni community has been a tremendous source of support for me. It's why I've continued to be engaged with the university, and it's why I encourage everyone else to be involved. I acknowledge that I'm standing before you quite young. And I have to be honest that when I was elected to become the president of your Alumni Association, I was nervous. I was nervous about leading a group filled with so many achievements and accolades while I was still growing into my own self. What I quickly found was that I had no reason to be nervous. I was, and continue to be, surrounded by a community that provides endless support, encourages success, and celebrates wins. By graduating today, you are automatically a member of this community, the Alumni Association. Inside your diploma cover, you'll find a card that talks about what is available to you. In addition to the friends you made here on campus, you have a worldwide network of alumni that you can tap into. More than 150,000 people across more than 100 countries. Wherever you go, there is likely to be a Binghamton grad who can offer support, answer questions, or chat about your shared Binghamton experiences. What I like to say is don't be shy about reaching out. I know I'm typically not. In addition, there are many opportunities to stay connected with the university, and you don't need to be here on campus to appreciate such. The Alumni Association connects you with other Binghamton alumni, helps to build skills that can translate to your professional life, and expand your network. Overall, we are a resource that I encourage you to take advantage of, even if it's simply connecting with us on LinkedIn or stopping by our tailgate tent during homecoming. Enjoy today with your family and friends. Experience all the feels, and know that you're ready for whatever life brings you. You're a Bearcat, you could do this. Again, congratulations, your Alumni Association is excited to have you.
Thank you, Kara. At this time, we will recognize the accomplishments of our master's degree candidates. Will the candidates for master's degree from the Harper College of Arts and Sciences please rise? School Marshal Carl Lippo, please lead the master's candidates to the platform so that all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Kristen Bird. Brooke Lindsay McGuire. James Michael Johnson. Emmanuel Clovis. Christina Elizabeth Taylor. Hadija Muhammadi. Bennett Perez. John Macker. Dunya Badidi. Wentel Ma. Najeli Martinez. Ryan Kinsella. Maximilian Carlson. Zachary Augustine. Julio Ruiz Diaz. Wasath Wiransi. Matthew Jacob. Seraphine Ben. David Collins. Mia Montes. Victoria Durnay. Jana Sevius. Nicholas Malfitano. Sandria Lowe. Monica Dale. Tayton Runche Smith. Nicole Elaine Nival. Miyaguchi, Dana Dougherty, Aaron Jang, Arjun Lamikhain, Alexander Kirstansky, Maria Hatchiken, Catherine Graham, Matthew Walsh, Matthew Carlson, Isabella Romano, Joshua Donker, Sasha Dorsel, Dylan Penn, Stephen Suyar, Dylan Wood, Michaela Freeman, Leah Blair,
President Stenger, as Dean of the Harper College of Arts and Sciences, I am honored to present to you these candidates for master's degrees.
For those who have successfully completed all degree requirements by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York and the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, I confer on each of you the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges which pertain to that degree here and elsewhere. On behalf of the Binghamton University community, I congratulate you all for this well-earned accomplishment.
The recipients of master's degrees from the Harper College of Arts and Sciences may be seated. At this time, we will recognize the accomplishments of our baccalaureate degree candidates. First, we will recognize students who have achieved Latin honors. We recognize 3 levels of achievement: cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. The names of the candidates for these honors appear in the commencement program. Over 1,100 Harper College students are candidates for Latin honors, so we will not announce each by name. But we shall recognize students attending today by having them stand in place. Candidates graduating cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. Candidates graduating magna cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. And finally, candidates graduating summa cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. My congratulations to all of you on your outstanding academic achievements. Latin honors are based on a student's cumulative grade point average. Students who have earned distinction or of department honors or distinguished independent work have achieved academic excellence and have been recognized by the faculty in their major department. Now, I ask all of the baccalaureate degree candidates in the following departments to please rise: anthropology, earth sciences, economics, environmental studies, and geography. President Stenger, as the Dean of Harper College, I am pleased to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled all their baccalaureate degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty. Student Marshal Stephen Corbisiero, please lead the baccalaureate candidates to the platform so that all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
All right. Stephen Charles Corbisier. Christian Aaron James Cook. Angelina Hammond. Juliana Gaeta. Samantha Narcissi, Shannon Braun Gorman, Julie Yefrenkova, Alexis Birch, Lauren DeRosa, Richard Quillis, Charlene Kim, Ethan Yanusi, Nicholas Yanofsky, Sarah Eileen, Nia Duncan, Nicholas Pierulli, Peter Savridis, Christopher Merck, Samantha Badia, Lisbel Garo, Matthew Christian, Spencer Corbin, Louis Glickman, Isabella Robertson, Gabrielle Matza, Jessica Sharon, Mackenzie Square, Yuyu Jan, Neil Seeger, Joseph Gindi, Allison Howard, Mia Wallach, Benjamin Apedisano, Christopher Aubie, Zachary Zaire, John Vinciletti, Emelina Reisler, Jorge Diaz, Sara Visconti, Shani Smilovich, William Moorer, Skylar Aaron Ward, Zachary Baker, Aidan Zonner, Bassett Ijas, Justin Mott, Nicholas Kinston, Danielle Quintman, Jose Sanchez, Baron C., Ian Denleen, Jacob Horoshevsky, Caitlin O'Connor, Jacob Robb, Nicholas William Green, Stephen Christian, Andrew Zambrisky, Stephen Bonfiglio, Samuel Marin, Alexandra Carboni, Kia Yu, Chin Chin Fen, Jesse Yan, Danielle Megan, Dylan Chon, Christina Brown, Stephanie Beck, Luke Zuckerman, Timotheos Haritos, John Banahan III, Yariki Shu, Ivan Garcia, John Garcia, Madia Rafig, Mark Burberna, Marion Richards, Adam Basir, John Pawson, Casey Monahan, Marisa Eisenhower, Michael Hayes, Hope Simmons, Skylar Yerden, Justin Cramp, David Trost, Brianna Akande, Brett Pireke, Tyler O'Donnell, Owen Dorr, Mariana Campi Silva, Michelle Carino, Aidan Gajewski, Dylan Larson, Jessica Chan, Adam Chen, Timothy Wallace Brennan, Olivia Louis, Leilani Moya. Yes. Vanessa Padilla, Alexa Marie Wixon, Rhea Pantel, Leah Guan, Julia Kaminsky, Eric Bekular, Maximus Kalovi, Anthony Petragnani, Jake Rees, Peter Franchini, Joey Kashkin, Miles Tomlinson, Christopher DeMaria, Alexander De La Fontaine, Danielle Hanninger, Joseph Takapina, Noah Cron, Daniel Londaw, Alexander Palantir, Rohel Shadab, Aishwan Zhao, James Akerton, Lucas Miguel Pulsifer, Alex Pulsifer, Dakota Lambro, Miriam Yenny, Dylan Siren, Isha Sharma, Justin Chan, Abdullah Hanan Ali, Shanjon Ju, Shopin Yan, Madison Lines, David Perez, Aniel Garcia, Randy Olivo, Tucker Wojcik, Sean Davis, Anthony Hawag, Dennis Driscoll, John Blantis, Colin McQuaid, Jared Shimansik, Sean Podjan, Ryan Keane, William Donovan, Alexander Filosa, Eduardo Silva, Henry Gochen, Michael William Hopkins, Daniel Yoon, Mihir Hattari, Emil Radonsik, Harold Chadwick, Ethan Alone, Yuri Kim, Caroline Favelson, Karen Guo, Benju, Catherine Chan, Yuan Han, Crystal Lean, Sarah Wexler, Sarah Grace Willamite, Alana Fitzgerald, Ilea Makun, Daniel Nicole Traglia, Grace Ackerman, Samuel Isaac Levy, Levi, I apologize, Ivana Maria Georgiouram, Julia Vertlip, Douglas Benjamin Mandel, Joseph Samuels, Ryan Gilbert, Saul Vlasevich, Najima Dubanaeva, Dana Kutcher, Zoe Brusso, Amit Barzuhar, Wazy Jarrett, Juliana Jeffrard, Sukun Han, Matthew Lally, John Grillo, Tarif Sabur, Thomas Esposito, Patrick Doyle, Lucy Goodman, Adamaris Lopez, Hunter Baumgarten, Ryan Windram, Benjamin Rosa, Richard Paul Keith III, Michael Tofano, Paul Gluck, Jacob Kusumalayam, Scott Musiker, Damian Bednarski, Pantelis Claudius, Martin Ziabron, David Borson, David Belanti, Colin Cook, Lee Zhao, Tyler Hasapidis, Zachary Crystal, Christian Janae, Nolan Miller, Christopher Wells, Seba Gabisonia, Alexis Hernandez, Michael Diaz, Gillard Price. Good enough, I'm sorry. Jacob Shapiro, Ryan Turner, Shervin Ibrahimian, Andrew Fowler, Sam Ryan Mottelson, Maximo Anthony Mora, Jacob Capelli, Vicky John, Kaylee Yuan, Laura Miller, Christine Chen, Josiah Han, Robert Lee, Edgar Chen, Raymond Gua, Zan Hin Lin, Noah Amar, Kristen Picard, Maya Rita Asaid, Haley Ulnar, Ryan Rousseau, Jendo Fernandez, Itai Aftalion, Jesse Schwartz, Oren Shmuel, Jesse Finkenstein, Amy Citron, Corin Benhamo, Tatiana Maguire, Sophia Caraselli, Gabrielle Mikkels, Nicholas Harrington, John Marshall, Sean Harringen, Joseph Tran, Chandri Yan, Edward Clark, Ryan Nostro, Colin Smith, Jacob Tulo, Henry Lohano, Sarah Nolan, Brooke Perillo, Brian Kilkelly, Brian Matlock, Michael Tedesco, Richard Krychak, David Rubenstein, Noah Bucknin, Carly Santiago, Joshua Enzalone, Madeline Murphy, Socrates Yvonne Lambrose, Stephen Bjork, Austin Verdee, Gavin Courtbright, Christopher O'Brien, Connor Ryan Burke, Alexander Nazareth Kasparian, Thomas McGinn, Kafi Amani Waldron, Ryan Guerci, Kira Guerci, Lindsay Holland, Anna Marie Coros, Brianna Lee, Alec Lundgren, Jonathan Harris, Michael Taylor, Anna Canetro, Erica Rodriguez, Isabella Priven, Preston E. Lee, Dylan Ubuachella, Isaac Askarinam, Logan Sverdlov, Alexander Lee, Matthew Juan, Melissa Pan, Melanie Murphy, Sam Gold, Ivan Ostrov, Hannah Brown, Emily White, Ross Futerep, Jan Schaffer, Paige Holdorf, Nora McConnell, Sophia Sloves, Victoria Eisenberg, Benjamin Prigg, Sierra McGreal, Aaron Johnson, Evan Stallone, Margaret Seville, Cass Klingeman, Finn Love, Alex Stabiner, Ryan Wallach, Sarah Pitts, Alexandria Romeas, Imogen Ale, Emily Mahoney, Jacob DeBias, Ryan Brannigan, Anna Hickey, Brandon Roish, Kaylee Jane On, Amanda Mulvey, Jamie Spooner, Patrick Murphy, Sebastian Freiberg, Charles Humphrey, Erin Acosta, Celia DeFrancisco, Lillian Shelley, Yuki Yamasaki, Samantha Walker, Michael Anthony Kush, Lily Failer, Anna Marie Caronis, Adam Hess, Ariana Edwards, Lauren Marshall, Melissa Torchia, Sarah Axteribe, Nicole Killam, Rami Freeman, Taylor Ann Block, Natalie Stanton, Sophia Lamb, Roshan Marquise, Mika Barrow, Tyler Douglas, Paul Chaslick, Emily Bridgeford, Asha Rosata Benet, Nicholas Savino, Tyler Linehan, Olivia Lopez da Silva, Orion Baker Perezinski, Madison Rosenbaum, Jessica Ryder, Alyssa Harris, Caitlin Tucker, Tiffany Hond, Claire Devlin, Erin Zipman, Alana McCone, Tori Pistilli, Kayla June Kotka, Michelle Salgado, April Ransom, Casey Lee, Juliana Haneke, Sydney Ferreira, Mia Fetcher, Erica Albert, Cassandra Rydell, Alexandria Gayed, Janchan Yan, Javier Marzulli, Owen Harvey, Gavin Jeffers, Adriana Gordocki, Riley Perkovsky, Paige Carman, Sean Notley, Jared Sackett, Patrick Mucicini, Breeden Mariah Peel, Therese Ann Walsh, Magisa Aladina, that's a wrong one. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Evan Sitz, Mika Royce, Nicholas Imburgia, Ingrid Aparicio, Samuel Maury.
The next one, I guess.
An extra, okay. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce the 2024 Harper College of Arts and Sciences student commencement speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you Awa Traore. Awa will be earning a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Africana Studies and Philosophy, Politics, and Law, marking the culmination of years of hard work, determination, and unwavering commitment to her studies. But her journey is much more than just her academic achievements. As a first-generation student, Awa's roots trace back to Mali, West Africa, instilling in her a deep sense of pride in her heritage and a profound appreciation for the power of education. Throughout her time at our university, Awa has been a passionate advocate for social justice, law, and public speaking. Her dedication to her passions is evident in her extensive involvement in various student organizations. Awa has served on the executive boards of the African Student Organization, NAACP, where she has worked tirelessly to uplift and empower her peers while advancing important causes. As she looks to the future, Awa harbors aspirations of earning a master's degree in philosophy and eventually obtaining her law degree. With her unwavering determination and boundless potential, there is no doubt that Awa will continue to make a profound impact in whatever path she chooses to pursue. Please join me in congratulating Awa Traore on her outstanding achievements and in wishing her continued success as she embarks on the next chapter of her academic and professional journey.
I want to introduce you all to a poem I first read in the 7th grade at the age of 12. I didn't quite understand its depth at the moment, but as I grew and lived a little, the poem began to unfold within my eyes, and I hope it does for you too. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It had tacks in it and splinters, and boards were torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I've been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of harder. Don't you fall now. For I still going, honey, for I still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. The poem is titled Mother to Son, written by Langston Hughes, a famous Black poet and activist. The poem signifies something extremely important to me, and it sums up a lesson I've learned in my life and that I continue to learn. When I was first introduced to this poem, I completely fell in love with it, but I didn't quite understand its complexities just yet. But as I grew as a person and gained life experience, the poem began to unravel beneath my eyes, and it became something I understood and related to much more. In this poem, Langston Hughes mimics a conversation between a mother and a son. The mother expresses to her son that life for her ain't been no crystal stair. Every person on this earth lives their own life, and individually, we face our own battles and hardships in whatever form they take. I feel such a strong connection to this poem because life for me ain't been no crystal stair. As a first-generation college student, an African Muslim woman, the daughter of 2 Malian immigrants, and growing up in the South Bronx, I faced difficulties in my life that I felt were impossible to navigate, but ultimately weren't. Some of these hardships I faced in college. College is our space to grow as individuals. Not only are we expanding and immersing ourselves within our academic interests and life goals, but we're creating memories and lifelong friends while heightening our experiences as young adults. Some of the toughest battles I faced in college have been making decisions for myself and forcing myself to be out of my comfort zone. But these lessons and experiences will follow me for the rest of my life, equipping me with the proper tools to face hardships within my career and life as a growing adult. The lessons, experience, and friends I've gained in college are some of the things that will remain with me for the rest of my life. And as this new developing college student, I was introduced to a new chapter of my life that I had to learn to navigate. Because as college students, we take classes, attend office hours, TA for professors, join organizations and clubs, study for exams, write papers, etc. But we also go straight to work after our 3-hour Philosophy 400 class that ends at 9 p.m. We have to call home to make sure your mom is okay and that your little brother isn't misbehaving too much. Go to e-board, add 2-hour breaks in our schedule so we don't overwhelm ourselves, and check up on that friend that you haven't heard from in a while. As a student, sometimes it can feel like you're the only person in the world and that the whole world is collapsing in on you. And it can get hard to keep fighting. It can get hard to wake up for that class, do that assignment. It can get hard. But here we are. As I stand up here, I look at you and you look at me, and here we are. We made it through all the midterm and final weeks, all the failed exams and difficult courses you thought were impossible. We made it. And that's the biggest lesson out of college that we can take away as we venture into a new chapter in our lives. Life can get heavy. It can get overwhelming, but you have to keep going. You have to take care of yourself. No one has you better than you have yourself because life won't be a crystal stair. Before I exit this stage and finish off my speech, it would be wrong of me to not acknowledge the organizations that curated my college experience, like the African Student Organization, Big ASO, the Pi Beta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and Major Noor. We major. It would also be wrong of me to not acknowledge my amazing, my beautiful mother that has guided me throughout life in college and remains as my rock. She is the very reason why I stand here today. And my hardworking dad, who has done everything in his power to help me succeed. Thank you. Words can't express how grateful I am. Now, as we go on in life to become lawyers and doctors in sciences, we'll look back at these moments and see how we thought we couldn't make it. We will use these lessons to keep us pushing in our life after college. Congratulations to everyone sitting here, and congratulations to the wonderful and resilient class of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Awa. Will the baccalaureate candidates in the following departments please rise? Linguistics, mathematics and statistics, philosophy, politics and law, and political science. President Stenger, I am pleased to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled all their baccalaureate degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty. School Marshal Carl Lippo, please lead the candidates to the platform so that they all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
Just need some. Yeah. Thomas Miller, Shane O'Loughlin, Ileana Miranda, Allison Zuckerman, Cameron Murphy, Rebecca Norwicki, Emma Collin, Maria Papadopoulos, Zoe Patterson, Atira Patterson, Walter Brigham IV, Erin Delargy, Clementina Murder, Blanca Barker, Levi Axelrod, Julia Markilis, Joshua DeJoy, Jack Jisoo Boyan, Autumn Caligari, Tiffany Hay, Ife Chen, Catherine Marine, Valentina Escobar, Rain Malcolm Bay. What, is it the right one or no?
This person right now.
Mahima Patel, Tony Nee, Ruben Thin, Nathan Khan, Chen Hao Lee, Ruigan Jian, Colin Happy, Michael Peterson, Leif Vargas, Samantha Kelly, Evan Processor, Michael Guglielmo, Christopher Costello, Jinchen Son, Anna Nguyen, Eileen Kim, Ivan Parisi, Colin Burns, Huli Casday, Caleb Carrick, Lauren Tronke, Madison Jen Eyre, Nicole Macchiavecchio, Caroline Galizia, Joshua DeGroot, Peter Velasquez, Kaylee McGinney, Sebastian Sepulveda, John Kane, Andrew Aldous, Melanie Ibagon, Christine Kwan, Walter Thompson, David Sender, Brandon Single, Juliane Perlmutter, Zachary Mazurkevich, Fatima Larbi, Karzim Chiamaprasert, June Chen, Henry Teju McTurnan, Maurice Ryan, Abigail Kanutessen, Nicholas Pelash, Yvonne Tabor, Vincent Gambino, Madison Kern, Andre Strizover, Drew Holland, Nicholas De Souza, John Labella, Paul DeGraff, Ryan Renda, Kyle Tron, Kevin Robel, Ethan Miller, Michael Raw, Devin Cautious, Jonathan Stewart, Rick Dormius, Ambar Lopez, Emil Prieto, Joaquin de la Fleur, Brad Schurman, Kirsten Lisnoff, Kalia Kugler, Carly Kretzler, Christopher Miku, Laura De Los Santos, Natalia Merhib, Juliana De Domenico, Caitlin Gargano, Owen Campbell, Ken Liu, Joseph Chiarella, Lishun Gara, Jack Cardsnell, Lindsay Cuff, Elisa Kabashi, Sarah Rodriguez, Julia Nod, Kaisa Kenny, Brianna Sexton, Catherine Rogers, Elizabeth Wisona, Madison Owen, Jenna Celine, Deanna Nelson, Amelia Krishuk, Colin Orr, Patrick Rooney, Catherine Iriartri, Julia Cox, Arwin Leah Fernandez O'Brien, Delilah Cruz, Aliana Bania, Brianna Rodriguez, Cecilia Lay, Sabrina Benchaban, Viviana Spignolio, Zara Lacani, Samantha Levine, Grace McCon, Marina Cohen, Brianna Jeline, Leslie Omanzor, Andrew Costella, Molly Jagad, Jeremy Masterson, Madison Monahan, Sean Dickinson, Luke Montini, Hayden Gerard, Jason Warner, Jack Tomzik, Cole Margaritas, Brian Morrissey, Emma Conroy, Sophia Salgado, Jackson Heitzler, Ava Fama, Scott Oid, Michael Bania, Aidan Walsh, Jordan Stein, Maya Munoz, Jared Bissetson, Sean Roykbar, Aidan Jennings, Jack Harquist, Jacob Bitterman, Faith Zimmerman, Sophie Grinberg, Julia Bernstein, Hannah Corbin, Allison Chiarelli, Ruby Maletti, Ileana Mesnick, Lara Rabani, Nathan Wager, Arturo Campas, Luke Savinetti, Emily Farrell, Allison Palacio, Julia Zoller, Rebecca Pichigayo, Emma Pisirio, Ashley Recujo, Requijo, Aurel Zaytun, Michael Zaytun, Daniel Zaytun, Louis Mendoza, Abigail Giffensman, Azaria Walker, Sophia Rongo, Aiden Sennett, Sandra Sparks, Lauren Schwan, Kaylin Byerson, Sarina Lapari, Jack Ken, Alexis Redmond, Paige O'Connor, Jamie Tan, Ainsley Goripali, Grace Weisenfeld, Jenna Prosperi, Bria De La Fleur, Inez Williams, Awa Trayor, Isabel Ziemba, Jolie Kwok, Joseph Kim, Alexander Tu, Joshua Blankenstein, Charles Tamino, Luca Carisi, Benjamin Chekla, Brandon Condon, Melanie Vasquez, Ethan Fox, Luke Bailey, Lauren McKee, Summer Ferris, Kaylee Lutz, Lila Militello, Declan Buckley, Alisa Younger, Morgan Legary, Sydney Zuber, Joshua Gordon, Gabriel Idlitz, Amanda Saracino, Annalise Bird, Casey Ward,
All 3 names.
Kimberly Morrow,
All 3 names.
Kimberly Franco Moreau, Philip Billins, Isabella Rios, Victoria Carbone, Eva Madison Cardillo, Sarah Perez, Sophia Constantino, Doris Turkel, Zoe Kaimak. Oops. Ella Petersi. Skyla Rivera.
Kez. Last Kez.
Sebastian Velasquez. Simon Stratton. Ava Fenrenbach. Lucy Mondell. Natalie Quela. Cheryl Leon. Nicholas Bravo. Julie Pulevich. Tomer Karihuri. Dahlia Loeb. Abe Dacher. Atara Globus. Jack Dombrowski. Alexandria Chan. Carly Bloom. Alina Brown. Emily Sirin. Isabella Giraldo. Gia Minhas. Mamandi Kone. Desmond Cooper. Sonny Picayo. Daniel Karn. Jack Cardwell. Anthony Ravina. Julia Match. Jacob Harris. Victor Castilla Cello. Ashley Pickus. Anthony Stefanos. Lucas Carey. Mausa Toes. Laura Tamascu. Dylan Murray. Liam Gallagher. Eamon Kelly. Benjamin Kashipur. Jolie Hatana. Alexander Zikrinuk. Aidan Murphy. Daniel Irizarry. Yekaterina Montin. Patrick Hahn. Nicholas Delva. Jackson Cranack. Amer James. Luke Phillip. William Sage. Luke Fisher. Caroline Stinar. Jacqueline Brundell. Brandon Beam. Julia Smargiassi. Samuel Small. Madison Hoover. Logan Panzone. Ioannis Rigos. Patrick Morzinski. Rachel Ali. Rachel. Ilham Taher. Lauren Hidalgo. James Bay. Zachary Miller. Drew Mirror. Daniel Martillo. Charles Leo. Kieran Denoy. Nicholas Delgater, Sarah Pushkar, Benjamin Narciso, George Tazakas, Benjamin Granville, Matthew Atero, Alan Gilpin Pollock, Charvi Bayana, Samreen Khan, Noah Zachevich, Maxine Como, Lily Vaught, David Brennan, Camilla Green, Logan Osborne, Caroline Burnham, Anna Pavlova Nikiforov, Jake Goldberg, Stephen Capuano, Kristen Scanlon, Sean Yan Coleri, Thomas Hefner, Aisha Ayub, Nayeli Batista, Nicholas Carlino, Theodore Britta, Alexandra Chamblin, Tasnim Shokot, Jesse Zippel, Cecilia Giovi, Michael Rudick, Andrew Scott, Emily Cruz, Dominic Perfetti, Ashley Ziloff, Kevin Rodriguez, Violet Robertson, Joseph Aliperti, Julian Crawley, Dylan Malloy, Sarah Lewis, Timothy Martuson, Jonathan Maestri, Hannah Ku Valenti, Sophia Perez, Ioana Sepala, Jennifer Wen, Halima Choi Owens, Elisheva Izor, Mary Dahlia Janamis, and Judith Muka, Jamie Parisi, William Cohen, Logan Blexley, Jager Hassan, Galileo Savage, Faithy Mohammed, Fatia Mohammed, thank you. Ryan McLean, Matthew Ballinson, Stephanie Ramirez Chisarones, Eduardo Lizama, Adam Garcia, Ali Klein, John Viraja, Abigail Lewis, Caitlin Dossie, Nicole Burson, Beckham Goshi, Dominic Zeffi, Devin Tran, Christopher Leon, Tyler Leitner, Alexander Gore, Robert Fleur,
I would now like to ask everyone to rise as they are able as we sing the Binghamton University alma mater. We invite everyone to join in singing the refrain and second verse. The lyrics may be found on the back of the commencement program.
In the rolling hills of Binghamton, 'neath ever-changing skies, where two gently flowing rivers meet, we form our cherished ties. Oh, Binghamton, we carry thee with us for all our time, and through us individually forever may you shine. Together we spend these years, united in our aim, through our bold pursuit of excellence, we proudly bear your name. Oh, Binghamton, we carry thee with us for all our time, and through us individually forever may you shine. Forever may you shine.
Baccalaureate degree candidates, please remain standing. Everyone else may be seated. President Stenger, I am honored to present to you these candidates for the baccalaureate degree by the university.
For those who have successfully completed all degree requirements, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York and the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, I confer on each of you the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges accompanying it. On behalf of Binghamton University, I congratulate you all on this well-earned accomplishment. As is customary, Upon conferral of the baccalaureate degree, you may now move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left. Will all Harper graduates please rise? All rise. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, partners, and friends, I present to you the Binghamton University Harper College of Arts and Sciences class of 2024.
The spring commencement proceedings of the State University of New York at Binghamton are now concluded. We kindly ask the audience, I'm sorry, you gotta go. We kindly ask the audience to remain seated for the academic recessional. Once the academic recessional is completed, please exit as soon as you are able to allow the graduates and families of the next ceremony to enter.